Hello everyone and welcome to the video. My name is Matthias.
Good game, mate.
You stayed here the whole time?
Yeah. Did you die or did you? Oh no, you didn't die. Oh,
Nah.
bad luck. Ah, good fight.
Yeah, good fight. Nah, I thought you disappeared or logged out or something and I just went to do something else.
No, I didn't. I'm just waiting. I was waiting for my friends, but yeah, they have to walk from Hemingway. So yeah.
Alright, see you, man.
Yeah, good luck.
Now, as you probably understand by the title, this video is about violent video games and the debate about how they affect people playing them, mostly young people such as children and teenagers. So now the game that I will be playing while I'm sharing my thoughts and my point of view in this debate is the game H1Z1. It is a zombie survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world, and in the core game mode, Survival, you are supposed to either fight other survivors, meaning other players, or work together with them in order to survive. A part of this game is rather violent. You can find guns and ammo in a lot of places, and once you have that, you can choose to kill other players with it. You can of course also very quickly and violently be killed yourself. Now there has been violent video games for as long as video games has existed, something that probably shouldn't be all that surprising, being that video games are made by humans, just like movies, TV series and books. Now for a couple of years now, more and more people have raised their voices against the violence in video games, and people from different areas of our society are claiming that the violence in games has a strong negative effect on young gamers and will lead to the same kind of violence in real life as you will find in these games. Now two of the games that has received a lot of criticism this year 2015 for being very violent are Grand Theft Auto 5 and Hatred. Now I could mention a number of other games, but the reason why Hatred was one of the games that I mentioned was because of a video that I watched made by Total Biscuit, where he brings up the same subject, but more specifically based on this one particular game. So now rather than me talking about this video and his point of view, I strongly recommend you to watch it. It is of course a high quality video, which pretty much goes without saying, being that it is made by Total Biscuit, and in my opinion it's very educational.
GG, man.
Oh hey Billy, how's it going, man?
How's it going, man? What's up?
Not much. I'm not gonna take your loot, just keep it.
Alright, okay then, thanks a lot, man.
No problem. So in this video I will be focusing a lot on the violent part of H1Z1, even though this game contains a lot more. But I will also show you a lot of player reactions from especially the ones that I happen to kill. And that part makes this game particularly interesting, being that you have voice over IP in H1Z1, which allows you to communicate with other players for as long as you both have microphones.
Hey, Maddie.
Hello. Oh, hey, Drunken Lucy. How you going? How you doing?
Hey. Good play, guys.
So now the big question is, of course, why is it that today there are still people that believe that there is a connection between violent video games and violent behavior? Well, one of the reasons is, of course, that some people, when they look at a screen of a game that has a lot of violent content, they will just draw the connection right then and there. But you also have examples of violence and even murders where you can find the direct connection between the violent act and the game. And this is something that I would like to spend some time focusing on. In the year of 2005, an online gamer in Shanghai murdered another man because of a dispute over a virtual sword in the game Legend of Mir 3. The name of the sword is Dragon Saber, and obviously the two players were friends. They obtained the sword together, and when the man that later committed the murder let his friend borrow the sword, this player then sold the sword for an equivalent of about $1,100. The fact of the matter is that this theft, so to speak, was actually reported to the police, but since this sword was not considered as real property, it was not protected by any law. In 2007, a 13-year-old boy strangled an 81-year-old woman with a rope in order to get her money to fund his online addiction. Sorry man, I need loot. In 2014, a 19-year-old gamer committed a sexual sadistic murder on a 14-year-old from the same gaming community. The story didn't reveal what game or games they were playing, or if this murder was influenced by a game at all. So as I've been working on this video, I've been trying to find as much information as possible when it comes to murders and violence related to and influenced by video games. Now, I'm not an investigating reporter or anything, I have no previous experience with this sort of work, and needless to say, there might be a lot of information that I have missed. but I have been able to find about 20 murders over the last 10 years that has direct connections to at least one video game. Now, if you or anybody else take your time and investigate this on your own, you might find a completely different result. But what I want to point out here is that it's very important to put perspective into this. According to a report released by the UN Office of Drugs and Crime, about 437,000 people were murdered in 2012. That's almost 500,000 people that were murdered in 1 year. Now that makes me wonder, how many of those murders in 2012 were related to a violent video game? In 2003, a man named Devin Moore was arrested for stealing a car. Once at the police station, he was able to grab one of the officer's .45 caliber pistol, and with said weapon, he killed 2 police officers and 1 dispatcher before fleeing the police station, only to be caught later and sentenced to death by lethal injection. This perpetrator played the game Grand Theft Auto. This is a very violent video game, and the car theft as well as the shooting at the police station can very clearly be associated with this game. 12 years later, in August of 2015, Grand Theft Auto 5 had sold over 54 million copies. Now, there's been reports of violence and even murders where the perpetrator has been playing this game. But with over 50 million sold copies, it would be kind of strange if there wasn't a single criminal playing this game. Now, to some degree, it's actually quite understandable that there are people that will draw the conclusion that the game and its content will trigger someone to commit an act of violent crime. So now let's go back to the first example that I brought up in this video, a man in Shanghai who murdered another online gamer for selling a virtual sword. Now, what triggered this act of violence was probably the sensation of betrayal. Now, the story gave me the impression that they had been friends for a while. The perpetrator and the victim seemed to know each other in real life, and you probably wouldn't lend out a very rare and valuable item to somebody you don't know. So in almost all the examples that I've looked at, the stories seems to be heavily angled by media. Even though in several of these cases there are clear evidence for other motives to these violent crimes, media will often very heavily put their emphasis on the connection to the game. But that's just media. So what about actual scientific studies? Over quite a number of years now, psychologists and scientists have tried to find the link between violence and violent video games. And of course they are trying different methods of measuring this. For example, there has been studies made proving that the heart rate of a gamer playing a violent video game is being elevated. In several studies, there has also been claims that players playing violent video games have a tendency to show symptoms of aggression and antisocial behavior. And what I find really interesting about these studies is that whenever a violent video game is brought up for a study, the only thing that is brought up is the violence in the game and nothing else. What a lot of these scientists and psychologists seems to miss is that a lot of these violent video games has a very competitive nature. For a lot of gamers, playing a violent video games is not about the violence at all. It's about winning or losing, beating your opponent, and many times the sensation that a violent video game can give you is either that of success or defeat. Something that for thousands of years have proven to have a massive effect on us human beings. Another of the reasons why some of the violent video games has become so popular is because of the story. Just like with a book, a film or a TV series, you can get really hooked by the story of a video game. Now this is something that seems to be very hard for some non-gamers to understand, because when they look at a violent video game, all they see is the violence. This is one of the reasons why it's really hard to discuss this with non-gamers, and why it's so hard to take non-gamers seriously when they talk about how violent video games have this and that effect on gamers. So now let me show you a couple of examples of reactions that I have received playing the game H1Z1. And I'm talking about the reactions when I control my character meeting another player's character in-game and we try to kill each other's. Yeah, I got him.
Nice.
Good game.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Good game.
Good game, man. You sound young. You did good for you. How old are you, man?
14.
Nice game. Good game.
I killed 15. 15, yeah.
15 players?
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, I don't have enough ammo for my AK. It's on 0.
Oh, yeah, you were using AR and AK, but or a shotgun. Yeah, but you couldn't. You didn't want to loot at the end. I guess it's risky. Yeah, that guy was 14 years old, and to me it didn't seem like he had any problems distinguishing between games and reality. No signs of aggression, at least not in this case. I'm sure there's somebody up here. Yep.
That was him. Oh, many loot bags here.
Good game, guys.
Yeah, good game. You killed a few guys, I think.
Ah, he have lots of stuff.
Now, earlier in the video I told you about the core game mode Survival, but a lot of the footage in this video is also from another game mode called Battle Royale. Now, unlike Survival, Battle Royale is a match, and at the end it declares a winner or a winning team. And the way you win is by being the last man standing, or in the same team as the team that has the last players left alive. Ah, this is too fucking dangerous.
Okay, he's it.
Alright. You wanna rush him?
Yeah, I'm going right side.
Yeah.
Is he alone?
Yeah, he's alone. I think the other guy died to the Molotovs.
Oh, okay, nice.
I'm popping. He's going away. Then wait a little bit. I'll go straight forward. He's going away. No. Oh, okay, he's not. Okay, I'm jumping around here.
Where is he?
He's by the rock still. Or is he? Nice! Yeah, this was the end of a team battle royale that me and my teammate were able to win after he killed the last of our opponents.
GG guys, GG.
GG.
Good game.
Good game.
Oh, come on, don't be so childish. So now, if you're unfamiliar with it, there are a couple of expressions that are quite commonly used in games when you want to show your opponent respect. The most common one is good game, or its acronyms GG. Another one that isn't as common but quite well worth knowing is WP, well played. And another one is NS, stands for nice shot. Now, one of the things that caught my attention when I was reading the claims from some of these studies about the negative effect from violent video games was that the way they were described was kind of like a very soft and very mild version of a pro hockey match. In basically every, or at least every other hockey match played by multi-millionaire superstars, you will see a lot of brutal violence. Now, it would be bad enough if it stayed there, but the influence that this has on young people is undisputable. Now, before I decided to make this video, I knew about a video where some kids, I think they are like 6 or 7 years old, in Canada, take their gloves off in the middle of a match and starts fist fighting. And here it's very important to point something out that most people actually can distinguish between reality and fiction. When grown-ups starts fighting on a hockey match, that actually happens for real. This, on the other hand, the two of us dying here, killing each other's, even though it's a lot more brutal, this is only a game. We never actually killed each other's, and that is very easy to understand. Good game, man. Good game.
Yeah, GG. We exchanged bullets.
Now, I know, even during professional hockey matches, some of these fights are just for show, in order to draw attention and whatnot. But that can be quite hard to distinguish for a 6-year-old. This, on the other hand, probably a lot easier.
Nice.
Lol.
What the fuck?
Oh, shit! I got killed.
That's one.
Yeah, get the
How many?
sniper. I don't know, did I kill anyone?
Kill one.
Now, in this video, I'm only showing the positive reactions that I got from gamers that I met in-game. And I'm not doing that to try to fool anyone. I meet a lot of anger and bad behavior as well. And what I've found is that the way people express their frustration in an online game or on the internet in general is by using a lot stronger and a lot harsher language than they would do in real life. And again, I draw the similarities to what you see in hockey matches, because keep in mind, if any of these highly respected celebrities who are role models for hundreds of thousands of young people, if any of them behaved like they did on the ice in any other situation in society, not only would they lose almost everybody's respect over it, but they would also have some trouble with the law. So now, aside from the actual athletes, how about football supporters and what we've seen during, before, and after football matches? There has been occasions when we have seen a city turn into what looks like a war zone in a matter of minutes, just because one team lost to another team. Now, here I also want to bring up another, in my opinion, quite interesting comparison. As gaming is growing bigger and bigger, some gaming events and some gaming competitions has grown so big that they actually fill up a, let's say, hockey arena. Nowadays this happens several times every year, and so far, by comparison, this has been extremely peaceful. Now I believe that this debate is going to go on and on and on and on. And therefore I think it's quite important that even us gamers participate in the debate. Because I'll be honest, both myself and almost all the gamers out there, whenever we see or hear about people talking about how violent video games affect us, we just laugh at how stupid it sounds. But perhaps it's time to start taking this a bit more seriously. Because if we do not, a lot of this misinformation might actually escalate. And this might actually be a hard thing. The people that tell us this and that about gaming, they can fall back on their education and their degrees, even though they have little to no experience with games at all. A lot of gamers are of course the very opposite of that, meaning that there is a lot of room for misunderstandings and misinterpretations. Now, many times in life, you are forced to do what is required of you. You have obligations and you have rules that you must follow. And then in other situations, you have a choice. You can choose what you want to do. And I choose to stand up for what I believe in. I believe that gaming can be very good for a lot of people, but it's up to us to make it so. My name is Mattias, and I want to thank you all for watching.